Hey guys, today I'm going to show you one of the new features of MindExpress. It's in the file menu. It's called Make Copy. Now before I show you what this option does, I will first show you the file structure of the file I have here. It's Amigo. Now Amigo has, amongst others, a link to several games. You will see if I click on the games button that the title bar changes to games menu, so that means that I'm in a different file, and if I click one of the games then I jump to yet another file. So if I show this in the media library, you will see that I have an Amigo folder. In the Amigo folder I have the main file called Amigo, and then I have a games folder with all the games in there. So all the files in the Amigo structure are linked together. Now suppose that I have a user and I want this user to, well, I want to personalize Amigo for this specific user. So I want to make a few changes, but I don't want to change my original Amigo file. This is something that regularly happens if you have several users and you want to personalize things for one user. Now this is where the make copy function comes in, because as you may know, having to copy all the files and just changing all the links, it's hard work. So especially if you have a lot of files. So with make copy, what you can do is you can specify a folder name. Let's suppose that I want to personalize this for a user named John. Then I enter John, and then I can so I specify a folder name, and all documents will be placed in this folder. So not just the current documents. So we start with the current document and we just browse all the links in that document, and then also the links in the links of this document, and so on until we have the entire file structure, and this file structure will be completely duplicated in the folder that you specify. Also, you have the option to specify something that will be added to every document name. So every document name will get this, in this case John, and will identify that file as being from John. Now if I click OK, you will see that it will open up here in the title bar. You will see Amigo John, so I'm now in the Amigo John file. If I go to my media library, you will see that I have created an extra folder, John. I have a file called Amigo John, and it has duplicated the structure, so I have also a games folder. In the games folder, all games have been renamed, have been given a new ID, and also have the extension John, or have John in the name. And all links have been changed, so this entire structure is now completely contained within the John folder. So it's not jumping out of the John folder, so everything in here is linked together, and you will not, if you try to export this or whatever, you will not export stuff from anywhere else, because everything's contained within the folder I specified. Now one more thing I need to tell you is, if you do make copy, if you specify a folder name, you can also use the backslash to indicate that you want to put it in different folders. So in a subfolder of users. So for example, if I have another user called Brian, then I can say, okay, put everything in the folder users and then a subfolder Brian, and add Brian to the document name. So you can see that I will now start from the Amigo John file. So suppose that I've created some nice features for John, and I want to duplicate those features but don't want to duplicate the original file. Then I can just start with the Amigo John file, and what will happen is, press OK, you will see that it is now Amigo Brian instead of Amigo John, or Amigo John Brian. So the system knows that it should change John to Brian. And if I go to the media library, you will also see that I now have a folder users, I have a folder Brian, and again the complete Amigo structure based on the John files is now duplicated in the Brian folder. So yeah, this is a very handy feature if you want to personalize existing file sets. And it avoids copying of files, avoids links that are broken, or things that get imported that you don't want imported. So yeah, I hope this feature will help you out in case you have different users.